Let's now see how we can write our empty interface inside of our structure. This person will have first name, last name, and description. Our description attribute will be data type of empty interface, which means that we can assign any data type of any value to our description attribute. We will create two new structures, homeland and job. So now we want to create two different persons, where for first person we will put homeland structure for our description, and for second person we will put our job structure for our description attribute. Inside of our main function, we will create p1 variable of data type person with pointer, where for our description attribute we will assign new homeland structure. We will create p2 variable with data type person with pointer, but now we will assign job structure to our description attribute. When we print our values and types of our descriptions inside of our p1 and p2 variables, we can see the values, but we can see also that types of these descriptions are totally different. Let's create another example. We will create new structure developer, and we will put our user structure inside of our developer as embedded structure. Beside that, we will have a second attribute as data type string. After creating developer structure, we will create DevOps structure, and inside this structure we will also put embedded structure user. Second attribute for this DevOps structure will be tools as data type slice of strings. For our final structure, we will create structure company, where we will have three attributes. First attribute will be ID of data type empty interface. Second will be name of specific company as data type string, and then we will create attribute stuff, where we will have map of strings and empty interfaces. So here we want to create map where our keys will be specific ID for specific stuff, and then for value which will be connected to our specific ID, we want to assign specific member. Because we have empty interface for our values, we can assign developer structure or our DevOps structure. Let's now create new developer and new DevOps inside of our main function. We want to create new variable C1 with data type company with pointer. In our C1 variable, for our ID, we assigned value of data type string, then we specified new name for our company, and then for our staff, we specified two IDs, and we passed D1 and D2 variables to our keys. Remember here that we passed D1 and D2 variables which has pointers. This means that we store locations of these objects. We can also create new variable M1 of data type map with keys of strings and values of empty interfaces, and here we can specify not locations of our D1 and D2 variables, but instead specify values of that objects. In C2 variable, we created a new company with pointer, and we assigned new ID as integer data type and new name gRPC. But now we didn't create new map for our staff, and instead of that we just passed our M1 variable, which is the map we can match to our staff attribute. Now when we print values of our C1 and C2 variables, the output will look like this. Let's now see how we can create multi-branch maps. inside of our main function, we want to create multi-branch map. We created the new variable m1 as a map where our keys will have data type integer. But now values which will be connected to our integer keys will be another map. So now values inside of our m1 map will be another map where our keys will have data type string and our values inside of our multi-branch map will have data type of empty interface. Let's now see how we can add values to our M1 map. We will target specific key inside of our M1 map, which in this case will be integer with value 1. Then to that key we will assign new map where our keys will be strings and our values will be empty interfaces. Inside of our multi-branch map, we want to assign IDs of specific squads, and for values which will be connected to our keys, we will assign squad structure with pointer. S1 and S2 strings will be our keys inside of our multi-branch map. Values for these keys will be squad structures with pointers. Let's assign new key to our M1 map. We assigned new key with value 2 of data type integer, and for that specific key we want to assign new multi-branch map. Inside of this map we will have 4 different keys: T1, T2, T3 and T4. Values which will be connected to our keys will be team structures with pointers. In this way, we can create totally new generation of our abstraction. Also, you need to know that in our language we can assign data type empty interface to our key of specific map. We can see our S1 and S2 keys, and we can see locations of our objects. If we want to take values from specific key inside of our multi-branch map, we can do that like this. In second printing, first we access our M1 variable, then we target specific key with value 2, and then inside of our multi-branch map we take key T1. In this case, we got output of our team structure with pointer. In the next video, we will see how we can manipulate over our strings and which functions can help us with analyzing our string values.